Hey everyone, it's Coffee Queen here at Jitters Cafe. Glad to be connecting with you over another episode of Confessions of a Coffee Junkie, our blog here at Jitters Cafe. I know it's been really eons and eons since we've last talked and since I've last blogged, but what a better way to get reacquainted by sharing with you some of the really great things that one of our friends, Johnny Milton Jr. of Kush Coffee, had to send to us. So he sent us a lot of the coffees that he's testing on the back end, and we got to be a part of that process. And what I'm going to share with you is some of the things that I have personally experienced. But I want you, whenever you get a chance to taste some of these that he has to offer, also anything that you know about the particular region, get to know that region as well as what that particular coffee has to offer, and bring that experience into your palate and into your coffee experience to make it a really beautiful experience. A gorgeous couple of coffees that he sent us, and I want to just kind of share some of the details with you. I've got one here in my cup right now, and we're just going to go forward with this. So the very first coffee that I tasted from what he had to send to us was the Costa Rica Central Valley BCSL. Really incredible coffee. It kind of blew my mind on first sip. And, I was going to say not a lot of things blow my mind, but a lot of coffees blow my mind. That's really cool. A lot of coffee blows my mind. So, what we experienced here in the dry aroma, what we did was we coarse ground it. We tasted it in the French press. The dry aroma that it gave us was kind of it's really awkward, odd smell that I got. Maybe you may not smell the same thing. But I kind of like to draw on a lot of different kind of scents and aromas and tastes and things that I kind of know from my past history. I was always the one that smelled everything. I smelled everything. I could smell, greens, collard greens, and fried chicken from a mile away. My friends would kind of laugh at me because of the kind of nose that I had on me. So I was always the smell it person. So this dry aroma that this particular coffee gave us, again, this is the Costa Rica Central Valley BCSL. The dry aroma, smoked spinach, graham cracker, and marshmallow. A really odd combination there, but it makes for a fabulous aromatic experience in your nose. The wet aroma, you're going to love this. It had scents of honey, wine. It resembles, this coffee reminded me, the wet aroma reminded me some of the characteristics of an Ethiopian coffee, the scents that Ethiopian coffees do bring out in their wet aromas. Cocoa and honeysuckle. I love the smell of honeysuckle. When I was a kid, in our backyard, we had a huge backyard, and long before we got it cut down, we had like nothing but a fence full of honeysuckle, and me and my brother would go to the back fence and just eat the honeysuckle all day long. So I love the smell of honeysuckle. It's soft, honey-like, but it's just sweet enough that it kind of pierces your taste buds. And so that's the kind of scent that I remember, and that's the kind of wet aroma that this particular coffee gave us as well. So when we cupped it, the scent and the taste had a lot of honeysuckle in it. Warm honey, plum. It's an incredibly bright coffee. It had me really excited the whole cup. It's an incredibly bright coffee, some hints of citrus, honey, and jasmine. So great acidity. It was about a medium acidity. Not too full-bodied coffee, but it's kind of just full-bodied enough. So you can feel the depth of the coffee kind of envelopes your tongue, but it doesn't hold it there. So if you get what I'm saying. The next one that we experienced was the Costa Rica LAR, what I'm drinking right now. This one, we also did in a coarse grind French press. And so we've got so many notes on this coffee. This one, a couple of course, all of them I tested a couple times, but some of them it gave me different experiences, different times. And so I always say, of course, and it's kind of fact, sometimes when a coffee ages, it ages in a different way. And sometimes that it is in a really positive way, that it gives you a much more refined taste, something to be really enjoyed. But the LAR actually was one of those things, that the coffees that it maintained its value, but it also aged very well. So this was a coarse grind in the French press. The dry aroma, sweet caramel cream. This is much different. Like I said, remember I was always the smell it kid. So sweet caramel cream, sweet corn, and a hint of licorice in the dry aroma. And once again, that's an odd level of smells. But those are some of the things that I picked up in the dry aroma. In the wet aroma, this was a much more deeper level of scents here. Fudge, double chocolate brownie, a teensy bit of almond. It was bright. And then I said double chocolate apples. So if you've ever had, like, I don't know, like gala apples, but like deep dark chocolate fudge. And then the pomegranate. If you've ever had chocolate covered pomegranate, or just pomegranate itself, it's an amazing, amazing, amazing taste. So nice and juicy, fruity, but it still had that nice chocolate kind of meaty depth to it. I say that this particular coffee is, if you enjoy, deep fruit, vibrant fruit, and if you enjoy the dark chocolates and the more thicker tastes, then you would really enjoy this coffee. But I would liken it to someone with a more mature palate. So a more mature, eclectic palate. So it's got a little bit of fruit, a little bit of tobacco later on in the cup. So I would definitely highly, highly, highly recommend this particular one to be paired with a cigar. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and find the perfect cigar for this, and we're going to feature that on our Raging Brews, because our Raging Brews is where we find the perfect match between a fabulous coffee and the ultimately fabulous cigar. So this one we're going to keep in our back pocket, and hopefully this is one of the ones that he's got going on at his party too, over at Kush Coffee. Okay, I'm going to stop it there.